know I'm coming off like a hater, so I'll leave it there. But I've been saying that Snoop is not the owner. It's owned by a hedge fund, and they are employees to run that. Now, he do have a lot of control and say so over there. And so I get that. I believe that. I know that. But as far as the owner, like we all think, like Suge Knight owned it, and Dre owned it, and then later on Suge by himself, he does not have that type of ownership of the masters and the recordings. So I double down for Suge again and say, hey, shut him up. Show the check. Show the check. And I'll shut up. But I just want my Simon Says money that you and Daz keep saying y'all got worked out, and now Daz claiming it isn't true. Big Simon Says Music Publishing, y'all got the letters. If you say you don't got the letters, I'll have it posted right now. You got the letter, Universal got the letters. Pay me my motherfucking money, or more pictures will be leaked. Because I'm not buying that story that you're trying to say that that's her gay friend. That man got a family of 4, been married twice. Stop playing with me, boy. Have your people look at my money, pay me my money. I'll go away. I'll leave you alone. I'll stop being causing problems at your house. Because I know you ain't got a happy home right now. I know it. You can say all you want to say. But I know how to play. I know how to make come out and play.
What's good with it, y'all? It's Coffee tapping back in, man. And you know, we see all this ish going on, all this paperwork, parties, RICO cases, just all kinds of dirt on individuals, man, coming out of the hip-hop world, man. Like, Social Network has really switched it up to show us that a lot of cats ain't really who they say they are. They ain't pushing that line, the G code, like they claim, you know. And speaking of that, cooperating, snitching, exposing, etc., you know, Wack100, I guess, has something major lined up today, man, to expose Benzino even further after he put out those you know, private pictures, we'll say, pause, you know what I mean, where some cats were saying, yo, Wack, that was highly hypocritical because he was just on his belly like you were on your belly. Pause, double pause on that one. And the ish we saw yesterday, where that old case where Benzino got hit up at his mom's funeral by his nephew, you know, that Benzino cooperated with detectives and flat out told on his nephew. You know, I don't believe that he testified at the trial. I'm not 100% on that, as the nephew was convicted of the lesser crime and got hit with a light bid. But nonetheless, he got with them detectives and told on his nephew. You know what I'm saying? And Zeno's always pushed that I'm as street as it gets, coming out of Boston, the mean streets to Boston. No telling, no snitching is my statement. He was snitching. You know what I'm saying? The nephew said it was self-defense, and Zeno had threatened him before and flashed that chrome at him. But it wasn't working. Those self-defense claims didn't work. He got arrested. He got convicted. And Benzino told. And I don't know, now you see Wack has something else lined up where he's saying Benzino don't miss Sunday service. That's kind of wild, right? Like, Sunday service in the name of church and God and all that. Wack is gonna expose Benzino even further. What do y'all think, man? Is that almost blasphemous, almost demonic out here? Like, real talk, I mean, people do blasphemous ish every day. We're almost halfway through the 2020s, man. Like, demonry and blasphemy has been going on, running rampant in the blogosphere, but we still gotta point it out when we see it, and, you know, take notice of what everything is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucked up. You can lose your soul out here. You know what I'm saying? Some cats sell their soul, but you can lose your soul by just getting caught up in all the chaos and all the evil ish going on and not staying focused. keeping in check what is morally sound and what ain't. But that clip, okay, Reggie Wright Jr. going in on Snoop Dogg, that Simon Says publishing, saying Snoop Dad's owing money, he wants his money. He'll leak out more stuff about Snoop's wife.
Getting ready right now.
Or do you think I'm not ready no way, so I hit you when I am ready?
When will you be ready?
About.
And you're gonna see me?
Well, figure out I'll be in Hollywood. I hit you when I am.
As y'all see that video, man, Snoop, I forget what's Shorty's name, man, that Insta Thought, who she was exposing rappers before, and Snoop got caught up cheating on his wife with her. I forget old girl's name. She was on No Jumper a few times. She just a no good broad, man. Not just because she's on some hoism, but she's just out to hurt people too. You know what I'm saying? Like, females can do them. I ain't dissing females. You know what I mean? Like, get your money, do what you do, fluck with whoever you want. But when you're just out trying to run around and tear apart marriages and hurt people just for no good reason other than to just do it, use foul. But you see this video, it seems Snoop, apparently, as she was talking about, because she had to go do a bid, it alleges that Snoop is still flucking around with his wife on her. And then at the end of the video, you see Snoop's wife with some dude, and apparently they're claiming that is her gay friend. I don't know, man. Y'all let me know what you think about that. But Reggie Wright Jr. has just been adamant that from day one that Snoop doesn't really own Death Row like he claims. Y'all heard what he was talking about, that it's a hedge fund and Snoop has a good amount of say-so over there, but he ain't the owner. And personally, I'm inclined to believe some of this, because if y'all recall, when Snoop was doing podcasts and whatnot, when he was in the process of trying to obtain the rights to the Death Row name, he was talking big-ish, like, yo, I'm gonna bring the name back. I'd be using it to put out new talent on the West Coast, this, that, and the third. And he's had the label or whatever ownership you want to call it that's in question here all this time, and he ain't did a ish. You know what I'm saying? He signed one dude, and dude got exposed for snitching, and I don't even think it was a real deal. There wasn't no real paperwork, and that died off. And then this Doggy Style dude that he signed, and I don't think he's even put out any music under the Death Row name. And it's so wild too that both those dudes kind of are imitating Snoop Dogg in a way, right? Like, Snoop, that's what you're doing, is just trying to rock with some clones, and that's it. I thought you were gonna bring the Death Row name back to greatness by putting out all this up and coming talent on the West Coast. And don't forget as well that there was that whole situation right when this deal went down, where a lot of the Death Row catalog was pulled down off streaming sites. And I don't know, it just, like, there was all these discrepancies going on over who really had the rights to the catalog, and were all the albums included in the catalog. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't really feel like Snoop really owns it like he's claiming. Like, I kind of believe what Reggie Wright is saying here. But nonetheless, he's telling them, we'll leak out some more ish, this, that, and the third. I want my money. Now, does that meet the legal definition of extortion? Is that illegal? Comment and let me know. But this dude, Choke No Joke, I'm sure y'all remember him. He was a cameraman, I believe, back in the day for Dame Dash and Rockefeller, and he went viral some years back for talking about gatekeepers in hip-hop and the music industry, what it's really like, you know what I mean? And he went on to push his YouTube platform. Since then, he's seen ups and downs and whatnot, but he got into some blogosphere smoke with Reggie Wright Jr. I don't recall what the blogosphere beef started over, but Reggie Wright came out and dug up some old paperwork and was saying Choke No Joke was a snitch. Now, we talk about police-ish and all that, man. We know Reggie Wright Jr. was the police. You know how motherfuckers be like, yo, such and such is the police. Like, Reggie Wright was the police. It's been some time since he's been in law enforcement, but I don't know, he's always digging up old stuff on individuals. We know him and Wack100 have a real good rapport, and people often question you know, what the deal is with Wack, like all this feds type ish he be on, you know what I'm saying? I wonder if he gets a lot of info from Reggie. Some cats think it goes even further, that it's some kind of modern day COINTELPRO op that Wack is on, you know, like he's just an agent of chaos, an agent provocateur. But I don't know exactly, I forget what it was that he exposed or allegedly exposed about Choke No Joke. I mean, going to the war with police or someone tied to law enforcement is a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can write up, like, you go to war with the police on some street-ish, they can write things up how it say, it happened like this, it happened like that, you know? It's almost somewhat considered an unwinnable war. But he alleged back then that Choke No Joke told on one of his friends or something like that. And I seen Choke No Joke pop up in some Bomb First lives in the chat since then, you know, saying, yo, how you try to put that snitch jacket on me? You could have got me killed. You need to take that back. And I heard Reggie, more or less, I'm paraphrasing here, I'm not quoting, say, yo, I didn't say you were a snitch for sure. I just alleged that you were a snitch. I pulled up some old paperwork and I, you know, laid out my theory of what I thought it was, and then I told the people, what do y'all think? Is he a snitch? You know what I'm saying? So he was like, I didn't say you were. I said, I thought you were. And, you know, Choke No Joke has just been on this mission since then to clear his name and to expose Reggie Wright. And people, with this clip that he shared, check out what he's talking about. He says, this clown just admitted to attacking Snoop Dogg by impersonating Suge Knight on Twitter and posting pics of Snoop's wife. Now he has the balls to say he will do it again. Wow, this dude must be above the law or don't know it or something. How can he just go on a public platform and threaten Snoop Dogg and Snoop's wife for money? Isn't that a crime? Am I hearing this? So what do y'all think? Like, is that extortion? What Reggie Wright Jr. is talking about? Do y'all think that there's something funny style behind that? Do you agree, concur with what Choke No Joke is saying? Like, how can Reggie just be so carefree about this? This is the same kind of stuff people say about Wack100 often, that like he just has all this access to all this information and law enforcement and stuff like that, and all the dirty games he plays that, you know, a lot of it seems to cross the line when it comes to legalities and stuff like that. He's never worried, and he's even like hinted at people getting hit up and stuff like that, you know? Like, so what do y'all think, man? Is Choke No Joke onto something here with what he's talking about with Reggie Wright and you know, what we were just talking about with Wack? What do y'all think? Comment. But check it out, you heard Suge Knight's name be mentioned in the Twitter account, and Choke No Joke is alleging that you know, Reggie Wright is using the Suge Knight's name on Twitter, as Suge Knight has been popping back up and doing podcasts and stuff. I believe Dave Mays has been a part of that from behind the wall, and his Twitter account has been super active. Now, the Suge Knight Twitter account has always been kind of crazy, man, where early on, the first ever Suge Knight Twitter account, which I believe is still this verified account, was originally ran by just someone trolling, someone impersonating Suge, and then Suge ended up actually taking ownership of it, and I don't know, it's just been a wild ride, and here we are now. You see the account is super active all the time, and what do y'all think? Is this really Suge saying this stuff, or is it Reggie Wright? You see he's talking about, you know, Benzino shaped like a robot, he don't have a neck. Thank God Coi Leray don't look like that. You know, he's talking about you know, Eminem's the old prank video, the pastor who's saying Jesus and the N-word, that's Eminem's parents. White people don't say the N-word, which white people definitely shouldn't say the N-word. You know, he's talking about that's why you say no to alcohol, as we saw Benzino have that meltdown on Drink Champs, and then say, you know, Benzino might have won this round, but Eminem's still winning in regards to the beef. So I don't know, that's kind of interesting, as Suge Knight, whenever I've heard him talk about Eminem, he's always dissing him, like dating back to the Death Row 2.0 the Row era with the Two Gangster for Radio album, all the Eminem disses on there. Just some years back when Nick Cannon was dissing Eminem, Suge Knight did a jail call where it was like an interlude on the track of him dissing Eminem. Like, you know, Eminem is a big part of what had Dre and Aftermath be successful. Because don't forget, man, before Eminem, Aftermath, when Dre had left and started his own label, wasn't doing too well. They had that Dr. Dre Presents the Aftermath album, which didn't do too well. There was The Firm, which I flocked with, but a lot of people thought it was a flop. But, you know, that all changed when Eminem started going multi-platinum and just changed the game forever. So for Suge to be hopping on here and bigging up Eminem in a sense, not really, but saying he's winning the Benzino beef, what do y'all think? Is this really Suge? Comment. But this last little bit of what we're talking about here is very interesting, this theory, and I want to know what everyone thinks. I don't know, this has really got me thinking, right? We see Keefe D, man, 2024 is so crazy, man. Keefe D, all this other ish we've been talking about, and Keefe D locked up, charged with Tupac's murder. You know, it's going to be a crazy case once that case starts up. But we've been seeing some stuff going on in regards to Keefe D's bail as of late. And he wants certain things to be kept private, as there's been talks about a green light on his family and all that. And, you know, a lot of people have been talking about Puff Daddy's alleged involvement with Keefe D and the murder of Tupac. And you see what he's talking about. Suge or Reggie or whoever this is has an interesting theory where they say, is Puffy trying to send someone to privately bail out Keefe D? Is Puffy trying to send someone to privately bail out Keefe D? Somebody trying to secretly. And then it says Keefe D's trial has now been delayed from June 3rd to November 4th. Keefe D is also requesting that his bail hearing be made private because a lot of people are turning me down because of the media circus in the courtroom. Who is Keefe D talking to about raising bail money? And that's interesting, man. I've been following the case. Make sure y'all subscribe and tap in the comments, as you know, we're going to be doing updates on that case as well as everything else. We really try to cover it all on this channel. But real talk, like, why is he so like adamant about this? Like, pretty much saying people have been interested in bailing him out, but because of the media circus and media frenzy, they don't want their name in the mix. Now, yes, that could be a lot of people, right? That could be a lot of different people, but I don't know. Could it be Puffy? I mean, and he don't want to be involved in bailing him out because he don't want to get hemmed up in this situation and arrested. And some people would say, well, why would Puffy even get involved at all? Well, maybe Keefe D's talking about, hey, you want me to not really mention you to the authorities or whatever and implicate you, bail me out, help me with my legal defense. Like, I don't think that's too far of a stretch. That could be within the realms of reality. You know what I mean? That all depends on if you believe Puffy was involved at all in any way, man. That's a pretty crazy theory that kind of blew my mind. Whoever said this, Suge, Reggie Wright, I don't know, but that's gonna do it for this one. We touched on a lot in this one. Can't wait to tap in with all y'all in the comments. Subscribe, and I'll catch y'all on the next one, guys. Peace.